Hey everyone, Tim Schofield here. It's time to take a look at the new Galaxy Book Pro 360 from Samsung. 360 because it is a 2-in-1, flips over just like a tablet, and also includes, as you can tell, it is magnetically connected, the S Pen up at the top. Samsung did send this review unit over for us to check out. This is the 15.6-inch model, and I have to say, this is probably the lightest 15-inch laptop I have ever used, which is pretty impressive considering the specs that are inside. Now, I want to take a full look at the Galaxy Book Pro 360, talk about my experiences with this laptop, so let's get started. I'd also like to preface this video, there is a Galaxy Book Pro model that doesn't have the 2-in-1 features or the S Pen, so it doesn't turn into a tablet if you're interested in that style, so I can link to that down below. But I also want to mention that Samsung has been doing a very good job, specifically with these models, in bridging the gap and building an ecosystem around a laptop, PC, and your phone, specifically if you have a Samsung phone or potentially even an Android phone. Now, Windows has done a good job at starting to build that ecosystem, so to speak. Obviously, Apple's done a good job within their Mac OS and iOS platforms, but Samsung is also kind of putting their foot into building an ecosystem around their own laptops and also adding capabilities from their phones to these laptops. Anyways, I want to get started with the design of the Galaxy Book Pro 360. First off, that navy color is great. I'm a huge fan. It's very sleek, very professional looking. The only thing is that it does collect fingerprints fairly easily, so that's a bit of a bummer. And when it comes to design of it, it is incredible. It's such a good looking laptop overall. The hinge is really good. I do have a bit of a gripe about the hinge, specifically when you go to pick up the laptop off a table. It's just a little bit too loose, which was an issue in one of their previous laptops as well. This one isn't as bad, but when you go to pick it up, you'll see it's not even you have to pick it up that hard. It does start to flip down just with any sort of force. It flips, even if it just flips like this. If I go to pick it up and I want to bring it with me somewhere to another room, I essentially need to keep in mind, oh, don't pick it up so quickly. You kind of have to do it a little bit more lightly, but it will flip on you. Along the left side, you have two USB Type-C slots. On the right side is an extra USB Type-C slot. I would have liked to have seen a USB Type-A port. However, they also added a micro SD card slot for some expandable storage and that headphone jack. And like I mentioned, there are some magnets in the S Pen and up towards the top of the Galaxy Book Pro for storage and quick storage. I haven't really had an issue with it falling off whatsoever. It really has just not come off of it. Obviously, if I bump into it or slide against it, it's going to come off. It's been easy to grasp at. It took a bit to kind of get used to the motion of grabbing it from the top, especially if I needed to just take it off while I was using it like a normal laptop. With that being said, I know a lot of people said, hey, I wish there was a place to house the pen when I'm done with it, when I want to store it. But when you take a look at the laptop itself, the S Pen is just thicker than the bottom half of the Galaxy Book Pro in general, so that's essentially impossible. And I like the size and feel of this S Pen. I wouldn't necessarily want a, for example, Galaxy Note style S Pen where it's smaller, but it does get housed into the phone. I like, especially with a bigger screen, that it's more pen-like. It is more like I'm actually writing, so I'm actually totally okay with them adding in a magnetic mechanism to store the S Pen, and then when I put it in a backpack, I'll just put it in the pen slot. Now let's talk about one of my favorite features of the Galaxy Book Pro 360, and that is the display. Now it is a 1080p display, however, it is Super AMOLED, so it's AMOLED technology, but Samsung's calling it the Super AMOLED because it has the touch capabilities built into the display. You might be familiar with Super AMOLED from Samsung phones, and I actually am a big fan of having AMOLED displays on laptops. I really hope more and more laptops do get AMOLED displays. The color reproduction is fantastic. Obviously, you get true blacks on your screen. So unfortunately, there isn't a 4K option for the display on this laptop. It only comes in 1080p, which is a downside for some people. That will help with battery life, not having a 4K resolution monitor. But as a 1080p AMOLED display, it is excellent. The touchscreen is very responsive. The only small thing I would like to have seen improved was it to get a little bit brighter, especially when I'm outside. It gets bright enough, but it doesn't get crazy bright like some other laptops I've used. But overall, the bezels are very minimal. It's great to look at and use while in tablet mode or potentially watching videos and maybe playing games with friends. And speaking of friends, that brings us to our sponsor, which is HP. Let me introduce you to my HP Smart Friend. HP Smart Friend allows you to have technology gurus at your fingertips, and they're available 24/7 through phone, chat, and remote support. Your HP Smart Friend will be there for you, offering judgment-free help. And not only will they fix unexpected problems, but they'll help you sync an Android or iPhone to a Windows PC, performance optimizations on your device if you're having trouble connecting to a network with Wi-Fi. Not only do you get that great support, but another one of the perks of a Smart Friend subscription is access to HP Employee Purchase Plan pricing on HP hardware and accessories. So, if you're looking for a reliable, trustworthy friend to help with your tech devices, look no further than HP Smart Friend. And now back to the video. Taking a look at the keyboard overall, I love that they added a number pad on the right side, especially with a 15.6-inch laptop. I'm always bummed out when I have a laptop that size that doesn't have a number pad. The enter key in the bottom right did have to get shrunk just a bit, so it is kind of small, which is okay. And then when it comes to typing on this keyboard, overall, I'm not that big of a fan of it, to be honest. It is a little bit shallow with the key presses and just feels just a little uncomfortable. I never really got used to it, and I think it's due to that shallow key press. Now, with that being said, the shallow key press is somewhat unavoidable when you do have a laptop this thin. So again, I might have some gripes about this laptop, but when it comes down to it, if it gets sacrificed for the weight and how thin it is, it kind of makes sense. Now, on the flip side, I am a big fan of the touchpad. It is definitely big enough, very responsive. I like the response when you click on the right or left-hand side of it. Overall, a great touchpad. And moving on, let's go to software. And this isn't your typical Windows 10 laptop. This is Windows 10 with Samsung additions to make your experience just better overall. They've added some really cool applications along with, hey, there's the Microsoft Store, along with integration with your phone, specifically if you already have a Samsung phone. So when it comes to software, first of all, the S Pen has some software features built into it. So when you get closer to the screen, you can just click on the button that is attached to it, and it will bring up some shortcuts. As you can see on the right side, you can create notes, screen write, live message, pen up, which is an app to do some coloring and such, and show window. Now, live message is a fun one, just as an example. So if I said, hey, everyone, with some terrible handwriting, I can do that. If I hit play, it will run through and play that animation. So again, these are things that I've seen on the Galaxy Note series that they're bringing to their laptops. Now, if I go ahead and scroll down here and I just hit save, I could go ahead and hit save and share. And once I share it, there's multiple ways I can do that. So for example, they have Quick Share built into their laptops, which is a Samsung application here on the left side that is Quick Share or nearby sharing with Bluetooth and Wi-Fi, so you don't just have to have a Samsung phone. Now, Quick Share does come up as an application, so if I select Quick Share, it says scanning nearby. There's my S21 Ultra, and as I said, you can just quickly go ahead and share files on over. It is finding it now on my S21 Ultra, so it's really easy to share files and do multiple things across your phone and your laptop. It took just a couple more seconds, but there is that animation that got sent over to my phone. Another application is Galaxy Book Smart Switch. So if you have a previous Galaxy Book, you can send and receive data, and when you actually start up your PC, you can transfer all of the data from your previous Galaxy Book. So great if you're looking to upgrade an older model of Galaxy Book to one of these new ones. Not only that, there's a crazy amount of other Samsung apps, such as link sharing. Link sharing is a good one. It creates a custom link that you can send to people to share files and upload specific things to it. Scrolling down though, here is S, so Samsung. There's a ton of them. Samsung Decks built in, so you can cast different devices to your monitor. Gallery, Flow, Notes to completely synchronize your notes over to your phone if you have the Samsung Notes app on your phone. There are custom Samsung settings as well for easy Bluetooth connection. You'll see I have my Galaxy Buds Pro synced up, so it was super easy to really just pair my Galaxy Buds because I have them connected to my Samsung account display. As I showed earlier, there's different modes: natural, auto, movie, or just a vivid. You can change between a light and dark mode. Something else nice that is added is USB charging. So if I turn this on and my computer is off, I can plug in my phone or another device and charge it via the battery in my laptop. Samsung's also added in security settings, such as a privacy folder, secret screen, block recording, and security camera. Security camera is a really cool one, which will actually detect if someone is trying to get into your laptop from the lock screen and actually use the webcam to take a picture and email it to you. So if I go over to security cam, I have it on now. I'll actually be blurring out the email account that I have it, but a really nice additional feature that got added to it. And again, this is just a Samsung security app that comes pre-installed on here. You can also block camera microphone recording. Secret screen, there's a couple options: dark screen or opacity effect. So if we go ahead and turn that on, Windows F11, this app doesn't actually support it. So let's go into an app that does. Here's the, let's see this, Windows F11. So you'll see the app is open, but it's really opaque. So it's really hard to see what's going on with the content unless you really try and focus and you're looking at it from a good angle. And then finally, there's a privacy folder where you can put something behind a firewall, so to speak, with just a password to hide specific and personal files. So that's essentially what I mean by Samsung adding in all of their own features to a Windows laptop with all of these apps. You have a voice note, you have screen recorder, there's Samsung Update, which will keep everything updated for you and check for firmware updates. I know the fingerprint scanner had an update, so it's nice that it will just keep everything updated all in one place, checking for drivers, and everything is up to date, all installed. There's pen drivers as well. And no complaints when it comes to performance of this Galaxy Book Pro. It has an Intel Core i7 1165G7 processor inside. This has 16 gigs of RAM as well. And everything flies. It is Evo certified, so you can do some light gaming even, and maybe some video editing. It is possible with this platform, but obviously if you want to do some heavy gaming, heavy video editing, you'll need a dedicated GPU, but of course that will make your laptop a little bit too thick, so it's pretty much impossible to have a dedicated GPU in a laptop that's this size. But again, everything's been quick, snappy. It's been great to use with an S Pen, especially with coloring options and signing things. Signing things has been great where I can use my actual signature as opposed to docu-signing it. Moving on to battery life, and I've actually been pleasantly surprised, especially how thin this laptop is. I was a little skeptical on how battery life's going to be. Now for me, I've been using it as my main work laptop throughout the day, and after I'm done working, I still do have extra to watch videos, maybe play a couple little games, and then I have also had it synced up to my S21 Ultra throughout the day. Now with that being said, I get around 10, 11 hours throughout the day on full use. Like I said, I'm doing a lot of work, and then at the end of the day, I will do some entertainment. Samsung does say you can get up to 20 hours, so maybe if you're doing a little bit less than I am throughout the day, you can probably get a little bit better battery life. But for me, 10 to 11 hours on a 15.6-inch laptop is very good. Samsung has sound by AKG in their speakers, and unfortunately, they're not at the top. They're actually at the bottom of this laptop, so they're bottom firing speakers, and the quality is very average. Don't expect anything crazy good out of these speakers. I think that does actually attribute to it being so thin. It's tough to get a lot of heavy bass or a lot of full sound out of a thin laptop. As a quick note, unfortunately, the webcam isn't very good, just like every other laptop out there, unfortunately. I was hoping Samsung would bring a solid camera, maybe from one of their phones over, but it doesn't seem to. It doesn't really handle light very well, and overall, it's just below average. Now, to recap everything, I've been a big fan of this laptop. If you're looking for a 15.6-inch portable laptop, this might be your option, especially considering how thin and light it is. Like I said, it's probably the lightest 15.6-inch laptop, especially if you're someone that wants the portability of a 13-inch laptop, but still wants that display size of a 15.6-inch, and with that great touchscreen 2-in-1 display on the Galaxy Book Pro 360. Anyways, let me know what you think. Drop a comment down below. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe. A lot more content coming soon. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and as always, thanks for watching.